Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. So I'm going to continue reading They Shook Hands, Year 1. So I'm on Chapter 11 right now of They Shook Hands, Year 1. Chapter 11, Something to Prove. I'm being pulled out of school, Zabini said softly. What? My mother is taking me out of Hogwarts. She's going to enroll me at Beauxbatons. What's Beauxbatons? Harry asked. A lesser wizarding school in France, Theo answered. Hogwarts was founded over 1,000 years ago. Beauxbatons is only 600. Why? The troll. Mother has heard about it and is absolutely furious. One, that the troll was able to even get into the castle in the first place. Two, that it took considerable time for the teachers to actually locate the beast. And three, that when informed that the troll was in the dungeons, Dumbledore dismissed the school to their common rooms. Well, as I said at the time, the Slytherin common room is in the dungeon. Mother thinks it shows that what the newspapers have been saying about him for some time now is entirely true. And of course, there's the fact that you went looking for the thing. She really wasn't impressed with that. I couldn't talk you three idiots out of going to look for it, and now I've got to go to Nottingham, France? Where's the justice in that? Harry felt a flash of guilt. He could have tried hard to convince others that it had been a bad idea. I have to go pack, Zabini said, still not sounding as though he believed it. I'm to report to Professor Snape's office tomorrow at noon for her to collect me. Well, that isn't a lot of time. Mother is quite insistent. It's been smashing to know you all, however briefly. Rum luck, Zabini, Draco said. Sorry you got to go to France. Do write us a letter and let us know how frog's legs taste. I think I'm going to be sick. Worse than that, you're going to miss the Quidditch match. Merlin's balls. Blaise pushed his plate away and left the Great Hall. Still thinking going after the troll was a good idea, Theo? Draco asked nastily. What else were we going to do? Theo demanded. We were already there. Someone had to stop it. We could have gotten the prefects. There wasn't time. Someone could have gotten hurt. Yes! Us! You get too excited about these things, Draco. Theo said dismissively. We're alive, aren't we? No thanks to you. Don't you feel the slightest bit bad about getting Zabini yanked from school? We were just getting to know him. I'm very sorry about that, and while I wouldn't do it the same way another time, the fact that we did beat it proves that it wasn't all that crazy, does it? We got lucky. Luck is with losers. I prefer to rely on skill. That Saturday morning was bright, clear, and cold. The Great Hall was filled with the delicious smell of fried sausages and the cheerful chatter of everyone looking forward to a good Quidditch match. Harry's stomach was filled with butterflies, so the food smelled delicious he couldn't eat a bite. You really should eat something, Harry. Draco told him as he spooned hot cereal into his mouth. I don't want anything. Have a bit of toast at least, Theo urged him, holding the plate in front of him. Harry's stomach rolled. He pushed the plate away. No thanks, I'm not hungry. He felt terrible. In an hour's time, he'd be walking onto the pitch. Harry, you need your strength. Millie was sitting next to him, forking eggs onto his plate. Yeah, Pansy chimed in. Seekers are always the ones who get clobbered the worst by the other team, you know. Yes, so I've heard, Harry said dryly, his nervousness finding an outlet in sarcasm. He didn't touch the eggs. As the next hour passed, Harry played disaster scenario after disaster scenario in his head. Despite it being Saturday, Theo had his nose in a school book, keeping his eyes on the text as he ate with his right hand. Harry was the only one who wasn't trying to conceal laughter as Crabbe tipped an inkwell into Theo's hot tea. He was too preoccupied to notice. Everyone else watched eagerly as Theo took a sip from his cup. Bletch, Theo sputtered as he spat his tea out. He looked down into the cup. Ink! Who did that? Everyone burst out laughing. It's not funny, Theo said, retching. Someone is bloody well going to be hexed. Pansy sniffed. There's no need to use uncouth language, she berated him. It's vulgar. Resorting to obscenities is a sign of a weak mind. I couldn't have said it better myself, Tracy admired. Draco sniggered, but you would have taken twice as long to use words that we couldn't understand. Tracy glared at him and stuck out her tongue. Theo had backed his book away. Glowering at everyone, he excused himself to go brush his teeth again. Finally, Marcus Flint came over and put his hand on Harry's shoulder, bringing him out of his fearful imaginings. All right, Harry? Harry tried to answer, but all that came out was a croak. Flint grinned at him. Not to worry. 2 weeks after we kick off, you're moving too fast to be nervous. Come on, let's go get you suited up. Good luck, Harry, everyone wished him. Flint shouted amicably at him while they made their way down to the changing rooms. The rest of them house Quidditch team met them down porch part way down. Miles Bletchley, Desmond Montague, Adrian Pusey, Ivan Bull, and Matthew Derrick. Bletchley handed out uniforms as Flint, the oldest among them, used transfiguration magic to make all the bits the proper size. Harry the rest began to change as Flint cleared his throat. Now then, men, we have a very important match in just a few minutes. Shocking, Bletchley interjected. We're currently in first place for the House Cup, and we have to keep that lead. Gryffindor is in third place, not even winning this game can let them take first. But since we want to take the Quidditch Cup as well again for the 7th year in a row, we can't even give them even a single break. Not even a broken bone, asked Bull, sounding profoundly disappointed. Flint grinned wickedly. Okay, we can't give them even a single chance. We try to give them as many breaks as possible. Bull smiled beatifically, his expression matched by Derrick. Wood still hasn't managed to find a secret worth the salt, so Harry's gonna have an easy time out of it. Flint continued, giving Harry an encouraging grin. I see we take advantage of that. Bull? Derrick, if there's a secret he can solve this clipboard, Lewis Panning gets anywhere near the snitch, you take her out. Harry, I want you to keep out of the way as much as possible. That way we can rack up the points and bury Gryffindor's chances of taking either cup this year. When we get, say 100 points up, then go after the snitch. Unless I fly by and tell you otherwise, of course. Or if you seriously think that we're in trouble, then go after it and win the game for us. Bull, Derek, those Weasley twins are good beaters, and they have experience. We'll be responsible for taking the rest of us. Fly quick, and if you can take out either of them, do it. Pusey, Montague, we gotta go out there and outfly them. The three girls Wood is flying chase are all lighter than any of us, so they're gonna be quicker. We practice how to compensate for that, and I want to see you both using the moves I taught you. I'm the experienced one, so they're gonna be watching for me to take the lead on any aggressive action. We're going to you release it against them as much as possible. You both fly well and I know you're capable of doing this. Fletchy sniffed. Oh, I can feel the love, he said, sounding totally sincere. Shut your noise, you. Flint snapped back good naturally. No words of advice from me, Flint? I'm crushed. Yeah, don't let the quaffle get by you. Flint bribed him. Every time I let the quaffle in, you have to buy me a butterbeer at the next Hogsmeade weekend. Fletchy snorted. Yeah, right, he scoffed. How about no? Flynn grinned again. I've got a good feeling about this game. Let's go out there and show Hogwarts what Slytherins are made of. Yeah, they all cheered and picked up their brooms. Harry caught sight of his reflection as he walked out towards the pitch. The emerald green robes of the house team looked good on him. With the protective equipment he was wearing, he even looked a little fierce. Harry drew the image onto his mind and fixed it there. The roar of the crowd greeted them as Harry stepped out of the tunnel. Slytherin supporters waved flags and shot firecrackers into the sky. Green and silver confetti drifted down. Harry was Theo's voice, and Harry turned, seeing him run up as fast as he could. I think I got something that can help you, Theo said, breathing heavily. He drew his wand and pointed it directly at Harry's nose. What are you doing, Harry demanded, slapping Theo's hand away. Don't just point a wand at me. Theo's lips twisted in a wry grin. A little tense, are we? What do you want, Harry snapped. Irritation at the break in his concentration, making him short with his friend. Theo pointed at Harry's nose again. Oculus reparvi intoned. Harry felt a jolt almost like static electricity strike his glasses. His nose tingled for a moment, and he scratched at it. Then he pulled off his glasses to see that where he had previously used teletape to hold them together in one piece, now the frames are whole, solid. The lenses were buffed to absolute smoothness, not a scratch in sight. They looked brand new, and Harry marveled. Dursley's got his glasses secondhand. They'd always been beat up, and so had Harry, thanks to Dudley. I found that this morning. Would have had it at breakfast except someone put ink in my tea. He was obviously still hacked off about that. Thank you, Harry said, gently touched by Theo's gesture. You're welcome, Theo replied, laughter dancing in his eyes. Can't have our secret unable to see properly, can we? He clapped Harry on the shoulder. Best of luck, mate. Harry walked towards center of the pitch with the rest of the team. Both teams circled around the crate, taking their starting positions. Madam Hooch, who was refereeing, stood in the center with her broom in hand, glaring at them all. Now then, I want a nice, clean game, all of you, she said, staring directly at Flint. His face took on an innocent expression. Mount your brooms. Harry started the smooth handle of his Nimbus 2000. Madam Hooch's silver whistle gave a piercing shriek. 15 brooms rose up high into the air. They were off. And the quaff was immediately taken by Ansley Johnson of Gryffindor. What excellent chaser that girl is, and rather attractive, too. Jordan? Harry didn't know the boy was prodding the play-by-play action Lee Jordan, but Flint had warned Harry to pay him no mind. Though he was minded by the stern and impartial Professor McGonagall, Jordan still let his Gryffindor buy his show. And she's really belting up along up there. A neat pass to Annalisa Spinnet. She's a great find of Oliver Woods. Last year only your research. She passes back to Johnson. No, intercepted by Slytherin captain Marcus Flynn. He's getting up the pitch. He's flying with an eagle up there. He takes a shot. No, a fake throw to pass back to chaser Adrian Pusey. Pusey puts it through the far ring. Fooey, 10 points to Slytherin. Cheers from the Rose and Slytherins and their supporters. Howls and moans of dismay could be heard from the Gryffindors. Gryffindor back in possession. Wood passes up chaser Katie Bell. She dives around Flint. She's in the clear, nobody around her. Out! Takes a bludger to the back of the head sent by beater Ivan Bull. That had to hurt. I bet she hopes she's alright. The quaffle scooted by Desi Montague of Slytherin, and he passes to Pusey. Goes with a shot. No, he's blocked by a second bludger instead by George Weasley. Or is it Fred? Nobody can tell those two apart. But a nice play by the Gryffindor beater in any case. Johnson, possession. Clear skies ahead. Wow, she's really moving. She takes the shot. She's got it. No, how did he do that? Keeper Miles Bletchley pulls some sort of a miracle and manages to block a perfect shot. Jordan sounded dismayed as the rest of the Gryffindors, who had all started cheering anticipation of the 10 points. Some supporters roared in approval. Slytherin in possession, Jordan continued. Chaser Pusey dodges the bludger, a Weasley, the other bludger, the other Weasley, and Chaser Bell. Feels nothing can stop him. And wait a minute, was that the snitch? A murmur ran through the crowd as Pusey dropped the quaffle, busy looking over his shoulder. The flash of gold had zoomed by him. Pusey, howled Flint. You're not the bloody seeker. Keep your eyes on the quaffle, you divvy. Harry saw it too. It was definitely the snitch. His nervousness had vanished the second he kicked off. Now excitement filled him as he drove over the snitch with the great whoop. Gryffindor seeker Louis Panning had seen it too, and they converged right behind the snitch. Neck and neck, they hurled along at tremendous speed. The chasers all seemed to have forgotten their jobs and hovered in midair as they watched the right for the snitch. Harry was faster than Panning. He could see the little round ball, wings fluttering, darting up ahead. He leaned forward a tad more and began to edge away from Panning and her clean sweep 6. Wham! All Slytherins called fouls. Weasley managed to accidentally get in Harry's way. Harry's broom spun off course. Harry did his best to hold on. Madam Hooch had a harsh word for Weasley, but the snitch had vanished again. Bullying to bludger and Panning determined to hit her. Potter seemed to know how to fly straight, nearly kills the Gryffindor beater. Jordan, could happen to anyone, I'm sure. No penalty shot as there was no foul and Gryffindor was in possession. It was as if Harry dodged a bludger. It was as if Harry dodged a bludger that had been rocketing towards his head that had happened. His broom gave a sudden, frightening lurch. For a split second, he was convinced that he was going to fall, and his short life passed before his eyes. He gripped the handle tightly with both his hands and knees. He never felt anything like that. It happened again. Harry was scared now, as though the broom were a wild horse that was trying to buck him off, but Nimbus 2000 is now suddenly decided to buck their riders off. Something was seriously wrong. He tried to turn. He had to get a timeout called and figure out what was wrong with his broom. He couldn't turn. Harry was near panicking now. The broom was completely out of his control. It wasn't able to turn. He wasn't able to steer. He couldn't direct the broom at all. It was zigzagging through the air, every so often making a violent swishing movement that nearly threw him off. Dorm was continuing on as though nothing were wrong. Slytherin in possession, Flint has the quaffle. No Pusey, no Montague. No Pusey. These three are playing fast and furious. It looks like a Hulk shed attack formation to me with Montague on the point. Flint tries to be a beater and uses his face to whack a bludger. Hope it didn't hurt him too much. But Montague puts the quaffle away. Oh no. The Slytherins are cheering. They've been making lots of excellent shots. Despite Wood's abilities as keeper, he had taken the lead. Nobody seemed to have noticed that Harry was in trouble. His broom was gradually carrying him higher and higher away from the game and jerking and twitching as it went. What's Harry doing? Theo asked as he peered through his binoculars. Has he lost control? Millie said, instantly worried. He can't have, Draco said puzzled. He's a great flyer. Then what's wrong? Pansy demanded. Tracy shrieked as Harry's broom got rolling over to the side, with Harry just barely holding on. Then it bucked again. Harry was swung right off. He was holding on with only one hand. Did something happen to him when Weasley blocked him? Daphne asked intently. No Gryffindor could have cast dark magic powerful enough to mess with him as 2000, Theo disagreed. Then something occurred to him when he raised his binoculars. I don't believe it, he said, his voice carrying a shock. What? Millie asked, still looking up at Harry. You also see him as casting a jinx. What? Pansy demanded, ripping the binoculars from his hands, nearly ripping Theo's nose off as well. Where? Ow, straight ahead, Theo replied, holding his nose. Well, I don't know Professor Snape, but I can see Professor Quirrell muttering something. Quirrell, Tracy exclaimed, what's going on here? One of them must be counting the counter jinx, Theo said, his voice sounding very odd. He was still cradling his nose. But which is which? Millie asked, frustration clearing her voice. Which is which? Quipped Daphne. This is no time for jokes, Daphne, Tracy half shouted at her. Harry's about to fall off. Flint directed the other chasers and their beaters to fly a pound directly below Harry, while he himself, most experienced chaser, tried to get close enough to snag the seeker off the process broomstick. Each time he tried to dart at Harry, the broom kept rising higher. Still, Flint did not give up. While the Slytherins are busy, Gryffindor chases Bliss especially with shots. He does bust a block, is quickly being worn down. Gryffindor's score began to catch up. The Blessy missed another shot, and the score was tied at 60 points. I'll take care of it, Goyle said, getting to his feet. Move out of my way, he bellowed, shoving anyone who dally too long. Within seconds, he was out of sight below the stands. Goyle lumbered towards the section of the stands that where the teachers were sitting. While the others were fret about details, Goyle heard all he needed to. Either Snape or Quirrell was jinxing Harry's broom, and that meant they both had to be interrupted. He leave figuring out of it all to those who were quicker and thought than he. There was a man of action. His name was Gregory Goyle. He finally reached a section roped off for staff members and guests of the school. He peered up through the slats. There was Quirrell, muttering just as Pansy had said. He drew up his wand. Incendio, he whispered, setting a small jet of flames onto his teacher's robes. He moved on looking for Snape. Quirrell's robe would catch. He was confident in his own skill. Incendio, whispered again, lighting Snape a flame as well. Then sure, that would be enough. He turned and ran as fast as he could. He might be a little slow, but he was no fool to stick around. Quirrell, you're on fire, someone shouted. Hagrid tackled him, smelling the flames in his own body. Severus, too, cried a female voice. Harry slapped at him, trying to extinguish the flames. Agumenti pressed the car, drenching the potions master from head to toe. Up in the sky, Harry's broom stopped shaking. Grabbed him with his other hand, clinging desperately, praying that it wouldn't throw him off. He stayed calm. He swung himself back and forth and managed to hook a leg over the handle. With a heave and a grunt, he pulled himself back up to the top and hugged his broom, breathing heavily. And Potter is okay, Lee Jordan announced the whole stadium, though I can barely see him. There was the Harry Potter has managed to regain control of his broom. Whatever problem that wonderful Nimbus 2000 had with the sneaky Slytherin writing it has apparently been solved. Jordan, snapped Professor McGonagall, and scores tied at 60 points each. Come on, girls, you can do it. Slytherin chasers dived to the Gryffindors in a perfect attack formation. Belle shrieked as Flynn came lunging in, howling an insane war cry. He snatched the quaffle from her and charged towards Wood, looking for all the world like a madman. Thwack him, hideous sound as Bull and Dare executed a bludger backbeat, sending the iron ball rocking in the same momentum towards Wood. Wood's eyes got wide, big as saucers. His face paled, becoming as white as the sheets in the hospital wing. His own beaters were out of position. He swallowed visibly and tightened his grip, his knuckles whitening. He spun around and knocked the quaffle away with the tail of his broom. Then a half second later took the full brunt of the bludger flash in his back. He cried out in pain and momentarily lost control, but he held on. Wood righted himself with effort, but drifted around like a drunk, clearly hurt. Who's to up the loose quaffle and sent her soaring past the disabled Wood to score. Johnson gained possession, but was caught up by Flint, still howling his war cry he stole from her. It was turning into a rout. Bull and Derek had quickly incapacitated Wood, and without a keeper, Gryffindor's chances were sunk. One of the chasers might guard the rings, but she would not have Wood's experience. The two remaining chasers can never beat three, not with the way Flint had gone insane. Harry took it all in, watching his bull target panting yet again, and she barely avoided being creamed by the bludger. They pretty much forgot about Flint's instructions to nail her only when she got near the snitch. If the seeker was injured, their team couldn't win. So yeah, that's part 1 of They Shook Hands, Year 1, Chapter 11. Take care, everybody. Another video from my channel.